Hello YouTube, and look at episode 2. Episode 2 of my Oshi no Ko reaction series. Back here again for more Oshi no Ko. So for those watching this video a little bit later, I recorded the first episode of Oshi no Ko in a new series that I wanted to do called First Episodes Only. I watched that first episode. It was a longer one, and it was fantastic. It floored me. It was fantastic. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. But now I haven't seen it for 3 or so months. Like, months and months. Like, I've forgotten a lot of stuff about it. For the record, with the first episodes only idea that I had, I just don't think it was really going to work. I recorded Heavenly Delusion as well as Hell's Paradise, those two. And I just didn't think that they were really suited for the format. I think Oshi no Ko was kind of unique in that regard, in that it gave a lot of closure. What it ended up being is me going back through the episode and saying, "Yep, this may be what happens. This may not be what happens," and as a result, I didn't get any closure. You know what I mean? I said, "I predict this will happen," and then I didn't get the other end of that, which, yeah, it didn't end up for a good video IMO. So I've still got that footage, but I probably won't end up editing it. So yeah, may need to rethink that format. But at any rate, I've watched the first episode already. I'll put a link in the description or something like that, so you can go back and have a look. If not, just have a scroll back through. There'll be a playlist called First Episodes Only. I'll probably put this video itself in a playlist as well. I'll probably put a time code here as well. This is where I'm going to talk about the poll, and the poll that led to this show being chosen for the channel, and that kind of thing. So I'll put some results up here in whatever format I end up putting them in. But you'll see that, hey, this poll was really close, as was the last poll. It was really close. And then we ended up doing both shows. So why aren't you doing Utena as well? Why aren't you telling me that you're doing Utena as well? Because I'm not. Unless it wins another poll, then I probably will. So there's a couple of reasons for this. One is that last time it was Kubikiri Cycle into Review Starlight, which was, I think it was 8 episodes, with the 8th episode being longer for Kubikiri, and 12 and a movie for Review Starlight. This means that that was a little bit more digestible. I could get through both of those shows relatively quickly and get on to the next thing, as I like to do with this slot. I like to keep it moving. If I was to do that with this, it would be 11 episodes of Oshi no Ko, as well as 39 of Utena, which is a little bit untenable IMO. The second reason is that I think my polling process is deeply, deeply, deeply flawed. And that's for multiple reasons, and that's for another video. Whenever I try to do another poll, I'll probably explain this stuff in greater detail and how I'm going to alleviate it. But mostly it breaks down to the poll being open. You can see what is winning the poll, and thus it turns into a 2-horse race every single time, with it being neck and neck and relatively close. I think that having multiple votes in the poll, in an open format as well, is contributing to this, because there's a lot of aggregation happening at the top of the poll, which isn't appreciated. The other thing is that the shows chosen for the poll and the shows voted on by the poll people are generally analogous to other shows on the channel. Like, it'll be something very similar to a Monogatari. I mean, broadly, Monogatari is very all-encompassing, but it'll be Lane, or it'll be Kubikiri Cycle, or it'll be Review Starlight, or something like this that may be a little bit more similar to your Symphogear. And I want to spice it up a little bit, so that's probably what I'm going to do with the next poll. I'm going to pick and choose some stuff a little bit from that channel in Discord, which is still open. You can suggest stuff, and that'll sway me either way, but I'm not just going to put everything in there next time, I don't think. I'm going to put a little bit more judgment into it, that kind of thing. And yeah, it'll be a closed format. If you've seen Tiabu's polls, they're probably going to be similar to that, you would think. So apologies to any Utena fans. It'll definitely be on the next poll somewhere, I can guarantee that. Either way, we're doing Oshi no Ko, so I should start talking about Oshi no Ko. That first episode's really good. I was reminded of it when I was kind of scrolling through it earlier this morning. I was just like, oh yeah, this is really good. Especially that kind of penultimate scene, the one with Ai passing away. Very well executed. I like the thematic line we're seemingly going through with the show. Kind of a, not subversion of idol culture, but definitely cognizant of it, of the lie of that culture, of the love that that culture perpetuates, and is that real love? and kind of contrasting that with the love of family, the love of her children, feeling real love. Like maybe thinking that, hey, this love that I feel for my children, is that the same kind of fake love that I've been putting on for all these idol fans this whole time, or is it something a little bit more real? The irony there being that ultimately this love is being given out to two people that were originally fans of her idol work. So yeah, that as well as broadly being kind of skeptical about the entertainment industry is kind of its go thematically at the moment. Other than that, plot-wise, we have the stuff to go into about there's some implication of some orchestration around her death, some feeding of information to some guy. Uh, we suspect the father, we being Aqua and Ruby being the two twins, I believe they're twins, that now are the stars of the show. There was the director dude involved. I want you to raise me was the words there. So he's obviously going into acting. I think the implication was that Ruby was going to follow her mother's footsteps into a little bit more of an idol area. So yeah, there was the touching stuff regarding her dancing that I thought was quite good. Not being able to dance went before she reincarnated, of course, due to her disease. So yeah, there's that side of it for Ruby. Other characters to keep an eye on. There was the fake mom, which I was calling her. I should just get this up here because I've had this up the entire time. This is the stuff I wrote initially. You may recognize it. Yeah, fake mom, the manager's wife who took care of the kids in lieu of when she had to go off and do whatever she had to do. I liked her a lot as a character. The implication was that she was raising the children, I thought. The director dude was also fun, apparently. I was very sweet. Rip, apparently. I should also say that the hype train for the show didn't really stop. Like, there's still a lot of people talking about it. It's very popular. It's probably considered the best thing that's come out this year, you would think. So, like, good. I mean, I don't normally agree with popular consensus like that anyway, but it's good that it's well liked. That is a positive. I don't believe I went into fully Doga Kobo last time as well. There's a absolute ton of shows that are that I like by them if I get them up here. So I'm a huge fan of Yuri Yuri. I think that show's just hilarious. Monthly Goes Nozaki-kun. I think that show's pretty damn good as well. A couple of other things I've seen by them include Tada Never Falls in Love, which I thought was bang average. Anima Yell, which had its moments, but again, pretty average. Senko-san, not for me. Asteroid in Love, which was very indicative for the production staff of this show from memory. A little bit on the boring side, but pretty good. Sing Yesterday for me, I think, is one of the worst things I've seen all of. So, sorry, fans of that show. Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. I think that's an underrated slice of lifey show about fishing. It's pretty damn good. Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, one of the best shows the year that it came out, for sure, 2020 that being. I thought that show was hilarious. I've seen the first episode of Ikebukuro Westgate Park. I'm getting this from Wikipedia, by the way. I don't know if this is fully accurate to them working solely on this, but they've done some work on it anyway. Either way, Ikebukuro Westgate Park, I've only seen like one episode. I thought it was okay. Selection Project, I saw about half of, and I thought it was pretty good. Pretty standard idol fare with some decent songs and a little bit of a reality show element from memory, as well as My Senpai is Annoying, which I thought was pretty damn funny as well. Just a cute little slice of lifey comedy. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Thought it was okay. So other than that, like I haven't seen anything else by them besides the first episode of Oshi no Ko, which is a departure for sure. Apparently I've written here other standout parts of the first episode with the backgrounds, which I thought were really good. Particularly there was a scene where they were acting out in the countryside that I thought was very pretty. There was some pop-off moments animation-wise, particularly that dance scene. There was a bunch of stars and different colors for Ruby from memory. The music was decent, but you didn't really notice it in kind of a good way. Like, it just kind of blended with it in a seamless quality, let's say. As well as probably being the most important aspect of it was its plot, theming, characters, blah, 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 blah. Responsible by old mate behind me here, Aka Akasaka. Because I'm a Kaguya-sama man. It's a very good show, and he's a very good writer. So yeah, that's the expectation going forward. Especially as I should say, we're seemingly going into a little bit more of a high school setting which he thrives in, this writer, Akasaka, so should be good. So yeah, I've kind of been rambling a little bit. I don't really have a structure for this part of the video, but I'm just, yeah, it's a little bit of a weird one. I've kind of already seen the first episode. I have some set of expectations regarding a lot of that, but it's such a long time ago that I need to kind of refresh myself. Again, there was also this side character, Kana Arima, something like that. That was seemingly a little bit stuck up and a little bit of a, like she wanted to be the best actress, but she couldn't be because Doctor Man was too good. I should call him Aqua. So you would think that she would come back into the show somewhere. I think she's on the poster, which I should probably just get up now. Honestly, yeah, she most certainly is. I'll probably put it up here in post. Our two main characters center stage, looking very idly, doing these ones as you do, as well as a couple of other side characters up the top. I think there was some teaser visuals for them towards the end of the last episode, as well as right at the top of the poster there. So yeah, that's where I would believe we are going. The other thing I do is I look at YouTube comments. I got up the YouTube comments for the last video, which I'll get up now, and a lot of it is just, it's less discussion based. Except for Ben-san's here, which is a little bit more about the specific scene where she's dying and how we're framing that and how that's a little bit interesting. As well as Kay here going into a few things regarding expectations as the series goes on. It's not like the first episode all the time, I think is the implication. But other than that, there's not really a whole bunch to take from these comments. So I'll be doing that starting next episode. There'll be a little bit more analysis and theory crafting and that kind of thing now that we know I'm going to continue it. But yeah, as I've been saying, this has kind of been all over the place, honestly. I'm just going to hop into the second episode and then we can get a little bit more structure going for what we have going on. However, prior to that, I do need to talk about subs still. I got a collection called Judas, I guess, and the sub track is called Star Something. I'm going to imagine it's good, because it had the whole season with the subtrack. If not, I have MTBB with honorifics, apparently. So those are the two subtracks I have. If you want me to change, I'm very happy to change, but I'm going to go with the default one for now. Yeah, before I get on to episode 2, just my shill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back, and the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, Discord. And yeah, we'll dive into episode 2 of Oshi no Ko right now. Rightio, got episode 2 up here ready to go. Let me pop that up there. 24 minutes and 42 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. As always, I'll have the picture-in-picture in the description below for your viewing pleasure, as well as using those Star Sengen subs, or whatever they were called. Let me hang on. These. Star Sugen, sure. Those. Either way, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, is this the opening? Oh, you would imagine that this is the opening. This song did numbers. That's all I know. Like, this is one of the most popular anime songs, like, of all time, charts-wise. Yoasobi, I believe. Google search? Hello, devil girl. You're the actor girl. Yep, sweet. Oh, hello. That's Dr. Man. And that's Aqua. Yeah, I've definitely heard this song, by the way. It's very well animated, I will say. Just, I think Spotify just, like, autoplayed it, which it generally does. Interesting. I want to have a look at that shot, actually. Because that was Ruby. But who's with Ruby? You know? It's a pretty cool song. I like the gothic choir. Okay. Additional idol members? Not particularly. You might. Oh shit, it's a lot of applicants. Okay. Phase 2 interview. I love the eyes. I think I said that last time. Okay. It's time to audition. Singing's kind of shit. Well, idols don't need to be good singers, I'll give you that right now. Okay, this is very determined. Yeah. Of course, like, so we can't tell people that you're her daughter, right? Yeah. Fanatical stalker. But again, the implication was that he had some information. Yeah. That's a pretty big little secret as well. Yeah. Oh, this is that's the TV from the opening. This is good. This is some nice recap for me. This music, it's giving me like Pokemon. Like I'm starting a new Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. He seems so much older. Hmm. You need both. Or at least a base level of exams. Okay, thanks, Dad. Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I agree. If you look at everything with a cost return like point of view, it's not how life works. Yeah, you're doing the actor stuff. But yeah, you're pursuing acting, but mostly with the view to get into the industry. He seems pretty gloomy. Maybe potentially a little bit Ishigami adjacent. Yeah, he's been trying to find the killer because it's implied he was somebody in the industry. Oh, okay, sure. I thought she was implied to be your guardian, at least on forms, either way. Managing internet personalities. Oh, God. Indeed. Essentially won the lottery. She was good. Well, what do we know about miracles? There's your callback. Speak of the devil. Yeah, still pretty slickly produced show, huh? Correct. I would expect a rejection. Nope. I'm reading tone of voice. That doesn't sound too good. Or maybe you're just nervous? Oh, okay, no. You definitely failed. At least they called you. Sometimes they just don't even call you if you don't get a job. Might need to work on that singing. Failure isn't binary. Well, that part of it too. But I mean, just because you failed now doesn't mean you'll fail in the future. He had a name for the boy, right? For Aqua. Fool your own twin sister. What? How does that even work, though? Okay, I don't get that. Don't say that, but sure. Yeah, you've probably got some. Yeah, you've got some misgivings about that based on. Yeah. Hmm. I think it's justified. Probably not the right answer. You need to. You need to find another spark, probably. Getting scouted on the street? Sure. Underground idol groups? I don't like the sound of that. Yeah, look at the look between the other two. Hmm. Life isn't quite that romantic, I don't think. Hmm. Okay. Whatever you say. Whatever makes you happy. Yeah, he's got that Shirogane drip on right now. But I mean, you can't. You could never know, right? Okay. Thanks, fake mum. I should probably get a name for her, huh? Yeah, something about the eye. Each of them has one, like, special eye. Think about it. My mom was a big fan. I guess time has passed. Well, we'll see. Okay. Sure. That's not a lot of money, no. Okay. Well, yeah. They find this star. Oh, scandalous. I recognize your voice actor. Alright, this doesn't sound like a great spot for Ruby. Okay. No, you can't, but why would she lie? Almost like you need two opinions. Nah, she was just better. She was built diff. Yeah, why take the risk? Oh my god. Yeah, we know that. You need to brush that hair out of your eyes. Then you'll feel better. Manage online personalities. Okay, sure. I badmouth my colleagues all the time. Oh shit. Yeah, I remember. That looked pretty slick too. Do you guys even go to school? More than anybody else, I think, should know that, right? As we would know. Well, where's the implication that you're not going to end up like her as well? That's not reassuring to anybody. Because I'm going to manage a new one. Knew it. Insane. The next generation. That's a contract for you. Yeah, that was funny. Hmm. We'll see. Oh, this is the studio with the actor man. Or not actor man, director man. Oh my god, he's just like me. edit this. You look like you're, like, in college. Oh my god, he really is me. God, I hate editing. I hate editing so much. Okay, at least it's in-house. Look at those feet. Jesus. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case forever. So they are still to get to the school. Yeah. It was to find old mate. Yeah, that's that's definitely a frame. Yeah. But you're thinking behind the scenes. I thought you were quite good. Okay, so he had some trial and errors. Okay, I'm all ears. Yeah, I was wondering if it was the mum. So yeah, trying to say something profound, give some advice to somebody, and then still living with my mum. Like, yeah, okay, gotcha. For creators, huh? Yeah, like that's the joke of the scene. It's true. Yeah, you're your own person. Okay, thanks, mom. He was very much about to say something important. Can't believe that got me. That's funny. Like third time's the charm, huh? Your classic rule of threes. Hello, Yota Koko. Okay. Which you are. And you're still going for general? Yeah, I mean, he's still got all that doctor knowledge, right? No, said it out loud in front of girl. Oh, I love the eyes. Hello. Yes. Yeah, the baking soda, right? Yeah. I did call it quits, though. Mm, yeah. The third option? Thoughts? Is this an ED? Okay. Weird spot to end the episode. I was kinda in. I was like, oh yeah, I'll wait for the rest of that scene to play out. Yeah, this is pretty slick too, huh? They definitely like pumped this full of money, huh? Yeah, go off. Okay. He's definitely like edgy boy, isn't he? Yeah. Edgy boy versus optimist. Two sides of the same coin. Yeah, like the projection, right? Love the eyes still, huh? Yeah, now into a little bit of analysis on episode 2. And we're back. I've taken some notes, which is what I've been doing in this kind of slot for the last little bit with Kubikiri Cycle and Review Starlight both. So I thought I'd just start the notes here so that we have them. It seems like the kind of show where notes would be necessary, fairly plot focused, and it's nice to have a good tracking of things for next week for me to read so I'm not as lost as the kind of month long gap or months long gap between episodes 1 and 2. Either way, I guess I should just give some general thoughts on the episode first. Yeah, we're settling into a little bit more of a stable cycle for a show, right? There's little bits here and there about the characters and whatever the direction they're going in. It's pretty obvious that Aqua's going to end up acting again at some point through some kind of divine inspiration, whatever that may be. A little bit more of a happy-go-lucky, hopeful look at the world, potentially. Out of that, you could think. But there's the fake mum, Miyako, as I know her name now. She's going to pursue this idol group with Ruby in a very inspiring, similar way. Where we're coming up out of a tragedy. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's just that Aqua hasn't really caught up yet. I think the flashback, or the flash forward, I should say, at the end of episode 1, that was them already attending high school. So that's even a flash forward to stuff we haven't even seen yet. IMO. Because they're wearing their high school uniforms, the ones that I would imagine they're wearing on the key visual, which they're not wearing yet. Again, I said in the moment that he's kind of got that Shirogane drip on in kind of the very black uniform with the high collar. A very traditional uniform, for sure. But yeah, just in general, enjoyable. I really want to watch another episode now. Not that I will, but but I really want to. Just because I'm keen to see where this plot goes. I'm keen to see, I guess, continue the... It felt like we cut it off halfway through the conversation. I want to see how that conversation ends up. I want to see what that character ends up saying. She's seemingly quite humorous, so looking forward to that as well. Yeah, it's really flowing. It'll be a very easy show to binge. I think that. Anyway, recap. I should get into that. Episode 2 begins after our time skip, with Ruby applying to join a new idol group, following in the footsteps of her late mother. This is the first of 2 idol audition-y things that she does in the episode. This one's a more large-scale audition process to join an established group, where she gets pretty far in the process before ultimately being denied of that position. In a bit of a weird way, I think Aqua had some involvement, but so I text the agency and said that I'm withdrawing, and then they still call me and say, "Hey, you're not being picked." Like, I don't understand that, really, unless he was posing as her guardian and then said, "Hey, you should call her and tell her she didn't make it." Regardless of anything else. I just think it's easy if she just didn't make it, and he wasn't pulling any strings behind the scenes. I don't see the point in that. But anyway, that's future stuff. Miyako and Aqua are quite skeptical of this. This is the new status quo. They're kind of faux parents for the potentially idealistic Ruby. Of course, Aqua being essentially like a middle-aged man in a teenage boy's body, he feels like a parent as well. And Miyako, she's done some living as well. Of course, skeptical of the industry at large, especially as it pertains to Ai. I'm sure Miyako definitely feels very good about, getting this girl into this industry and then it resulting in her death, even if by proxy. So making that decision at the end of the episode to pursue this with Ruby, even more significant. Or through the middle of the episode, I should say. Interestingly enough, Ichigo, who was the previous manager of Strawberry Productions, I don't know if you know, but Strawberry is Ichigo in Japanese, or Ichigo is Strawberry in Japanese, I should say. Either way, he's dropped off the map after the death of Ai, Miyako taking over the company, essentially managing a bunch of influencers, which is a little bit of a fall from grace for sure. In the background, Aqua is regularly meeting with the director dude, which I still don't have a name for, still striving to get into the industry but in a different route. He believes he has no talent for acting, which is completely in contrast to the scene we saw in episode 1. And is instead pursuing a career behind the scenes, so doing a bunch of editing for the director bloke. He is also sabotaging Ruby's attempts at this particular audition, not wanting his sister to fall into the same industry that consumed his mother. True. Ruby is then scattered by a different group, so she gets denied by the first group, is scattered by a different group, and then they trick a different idol of that same company into spilling the beans as to what that group is actually like. She may be lying, she may not, but we don't want her to pursue it either way. This experience, as well as some form of nostalgia looking at that photo on the computer screen, inspires Miyako to start a new idol group with Strawberry Productions, picking Ruby as the first member. So it'll be in the process of finding new members for this group. That's probably the little thing we saw in the opening where we're looking at an idol group there. The director dude and Aqua then have a conversation about acting and pursuing dreams and stuff, and it's constantly interrupted by the mother, so that's kind of undercutting whatever the director's trying to say. It's a little bit funny. It's a little bit subversive, you could say. Like, this would be the moment where the older, more gruff guy talking about dreams would say what he needs to say, but then he's constantly being interrupted by his mother, who he lives with still, implying that potentially he's not living or not living up to that same creed that he's preaching, considering he's still living with his mother. So I don't know, a little bit sad, but I still think what he's saying rings true. That's the way I would take it anyway. Then we get to the end of the episode with Ruby and Aqua applying for the same high school, one in creative arts being Ruby, and the other being the general program with Aqua. Kana Arima, I believe her name is, chooses that same high school and is shocked to hear that Aqua isn't pursuing acting anymore after their experiences in the first episode. So she thinks he's like the best actor ever because of this experience. It was very formative for her to get better and that kind of thing. And now he's not even doing the thing anymore. So, like, what gives? That's what she's thinking anyway. So yeah, I'll go back through the episode a little bit more with a fine-tooth comb and try to tell you a little bit more production-wise, but that's essentially the plot. It's pretty interesting at that, pretty involved for a second episode. So yeah, looking forward to more, but going to have a quick look back at the episode now. So again, for those that don't know, I will now go through the episode like this. This is the format that I do. I have this pen here. I can write whatever I want, like hi. I could write hi, and highlight certain things if I want to. That's kind of what I do. So yeah, first we've got an opening to look at, so let's do that. With a peerless smile, you're breaking through the media. Definitely a interesting production style, very bombastic, very theatrical style on the vocal in the opening too. People want to know your secrets, so mysterious. Even seeming somewhat dumb is your specialty area. You're masterful at lying to the camera. Interesting. Yeah, so that's our little intro there. Potentially alluding to the industry as a whole. I believe the song is called Idol. Simply put, Idol first class. As we see before here, we're kind of zooming in slowly on this hospital room, on this TV, on this little shrine to I from the very start of the show. We get flashes of various characters on the screen too. I believe that they're involved somewhat later on in the plot of the show. Yeah, I definitely see where this song's popular. It's very catchy, actually. I do like the gothic choir as a touch too. It gives it some nice opulence. It's good. Today, what did you eat? What would you like to read? When going to have fun, where is it that your path will lead? Okay, I like how they're trying to make these rhyme as well. I haven't eaten yet, can't get upset. For every question asked, you just deflect them with no sweat. Yeah, I do like the rhyming on the subs. That's actually quite clever. I wonder how accurate it is to the actual sentiment of the lyrics. Either way, we just got a quick look at Aqua and Ruby visually in the opening. Your distant gaze sparks a fiery gaze. It's like the sweetest peach, so out of reach. Did they rhyme gaze with gaze? Sure. Okay, so you're very idol adjacent. I like the horns a lot. Little devil girl, got the fang thing going on. You're probably a fan favorite, let's be honest. Yeah, I'd be interested to see you. I'd imagine you're a member of this idol group that we're creating. That would make sense to me. Where you're probably more doing your acting stuff, where you're related to the Aqua plot. Lyrically, in the opening, we're going into a bunch of like idol concepts and that kind of thing. Little conversational stuff back and forth about that process. In a man, what do you like? Is there a guy? People want to know. And this character too, who's also on the poster. You're on stage? That could be either stage acting or stage performing. Haven't met a boy who caused my heart to race. Yes, I don't really know love's appearance, shape, or taste. Okay. That's the whole thing about idols not being able to pursue these little romantic relationships. Potentially that's something we go into with Ruby. Maybe she likes somebody and then can't pursue it because of her idol status. Something like that we'll go into plot-wise. Here's the silhouette of the Doctor looking out over sea of people with the glow sticks. Metaphor, something. They can't know if it's a truth or just a lie, so I fall into these words and lead the fans on all the time. Oh, the central conceit of the show, for sure. To make them love me, to make them mine. Then we turn up the budget a little bit and get our animation on as we see kind of, I'm guessing that this is I performing, contrasted with Aqua running around. Captivating all that look up on the stage, you're the brightest star, the flawless, perfect idol. Now, but you weren't flawless and perfect at all, were you? No. You were as close as you could get, but you weren't, because that's not realistic. It's not really what idols are. It's an image. Up above you eternally reign. You are Venus that's been born here again. Definitely like looking up into the stars, which is probably got some metaphor stuff. Your warm and loving smile, your words so full of wile. As we flash through the various characters in the story, this was the character that was on stage before too, potentially. When you utter I love you, they enrapture and beguile. That pure and shining gaze and the voice so tender. So one part I wanted to look at was that frame I just had here. So you're Ruby, right, as implied by the next shot. You've got red hair. Are you Kana Arima or whatever the hell? That wouldn't make much sense to me, though. You're not really pursuing that. She's also the center, though. This might be a different character even again. And then you're like devil demon girl. Sure. Yeah, see, like this shot implies that's Ruby. So Ruby can't be the middle one. interesting. Is there like another character we don't know about? Also, again, I'll talk about it later. The very striking thing about the character designs is definitely still the eyes, as well as the show just being generally pretty well produced. Though they're a lie, they're the essence of love. Lies and love, that kind of thing, as the subs go crazy. Of course, it naturally reminds me of I think the Beastars opening has the same vocalist, or the same band, I should say. I don't know what they are, vocalist, band, something. So it reminds me of Beastars a lot, which is weird enough. Another thing that's tangentially related to performing arts, so that's interesting. And then we get into this section. It's a little bit weird. We kind of just go through various things here, and it says bunch of people applied, bunch of people. It narrows down this process. A bunch, and Ruby's somewhere involved in this final audition, or at least pretty far in the process. Yeah, look at her. She's auditioning. It's awesome. So right now she's awaiting results at her middle school, if that sub there can behave. So yeah, not in the high school yet, where we get that uniform that's on the key visual. These are some friend characters that disappear immediately, but they're like, your dancing and your performance on stage, that's all very good, but your singing's kind of eh. Again, as I've said in the moment, you don't need to be a good singer to be an idol. I'll tell you that right now. But mostly this scene succeeds in a very similar way to the rest of the show. Like look at these expressions on the characters and the framing and that kind of thing. It flows well. It feels natural. It feels buoyant. It feels comedic. It's good. Yeah, for right now, she's very inspired before it all comes crashing down. Obviously aspiring to be a top idol, much like her mother. This stuff with the recap towards the start, and then this stuff, it's good to catch us up to speed. I wonder how this played for people that just watched this episode straight after the other one. This probably feels unnecessary, but it feels really good for me, so shoutouts to this recap section. It's pretty good. Yeah, just kind of catching us up with the murder of Ai, as well as her previous life, all stuff we should know. It was funny when she was walking past, we saw kind of the background characters turning to look at her as well. Like, she is eye-catching for sure, pardon the pun with the eyes. Music in general this episode, same feeling as that first episode, just kind of flows really well, goes with the scenes. Not really some pop-off pieces yet. I wonder if we'll get another idol song, something like that. But yeah, just nice. Goes along with it well. Just in general, with the show being very well produced. Again, broken record about character design and kind of squishable nature of the characters and that kind of thing. They're very cartoonish. It's good. Yeah, I'm going to be just like Mom. Notebook on ahead. It's fine to dream big, but high school entrance exams are a reality you'll have to face soon. So yeah, they're going in high school, but you're also actively looking to stop this idol becoming process. Yeah, Aqua, forever the realist, looking for every reason to discourage Ruby from pursuing this idol stuff. With a bunch of real facts, right? Like, it's the same with, like, sport. You can't be, like, a sports star into your 40s and 50s. You need to get in and make your money early, or have a backup plan for later on in life. Same with an idol, right? They retire even earlier, right? Most you hardly ever see a 30-year-old idol unless they're very famous or very niche, one of the two. So yeah, you got to get in quick, get your money, and get out, and then hopefully invest into some other things whilst you're there. It's a very real reality of that kind of career path, and I think that's an interesting point by Aqua. It's interesting that Ruby here is almost saying the same things that the director's saying as well. You'll never do anything if all you care about is cost and return, right? I don't really mind the financial and logistical part of it. I'm just going to pursue my dream, which is maybe the right tact that he needs to approach life with. Maybe the real answer is a mix between these two of idealism and some knowledge of reality. Some kind of combination there anyway, I think. Of course, you wanting to pursue your dream is buoyed by your past as well, not being able to do that and seeing this as a second chance. Where Aqua's point of view is, he's a doctor, he's seen life and death all the time, he may be a little bit cynical. And also looking for that revenge in the background as well. So yeah, he's got that hair down over the eyes, hiding his eyes, which are a defining feature of his character design. Not looking to be a star, looking to blend into the background a little bit more, perpetually gloomy. But I do see him in this opening, or not in the opening, but in the in that key visual, he looks very preppy. He's got his hair combed back, slicked back like a real villain. So What gives, basically? At some point, there's going to be some kind of change there, you would think. Also, as we're filling in exposition, so Ichigo dropped off the radar, which is the manager guy. Miyako took over the agency, as well as being our legal guardian. I don't know how much involvement she had in the actual mothering process, but you would imagine some. B. Komachi also disbanded. I missed this in the moment, right? So I wonder if some of these characters will come back a little bit too. And Strawberry Productions, Ichigo Productions, they kind of got into managing online personalities, right? Influencers, rather than idols. Which is probably a better shout, honestly. This is where Ruby suggests putting together another idol group, which is what they eventually do, but that's not really what the production company does at the moment and needs a change of heart from Miyako to make that happen. Again, talking about this dream, this seemingly the central concept of the episode. Should we dream? Should we try to reproduce that miracle again? Most probably, we should try, at least attempt, right? But with the solid knowledge that, hey, this didn't go well the first time, some amount of trepidation, but some amount of trepidation is needed to make these leaps in your life, right? So he mentioned she's expecting back a call from this new agency job. Lo and behold, speak of the devil, auditions calling back. So yeah, as I said before, I still quite don't understand how this works. It's implied that Aqua made some calls to make this not happen, but that wouldn't explain the tone of this phone call, which seemingly is just rejecting her. You can tell a lot from the kind of intonation of the voice here, and when she gets the news, especially in the eye there, you can see it too. Almost those eyes taking on the same appearance of her mother's eyes when she was dead, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's sad for the moment. It's, again, kids always think that, like, failure is the end, which it isn't, right? I fail at things all the time. You just move on. Life goes on, and it's never the end of the world, right? And yeah, she's just come to terms with that touching scene between Miyako and Ruby. Yeah, a bit of reality versus dream. Again, major concept of the episode. Oh, I get it. I'm stupid. He is acting as the person that's telling her to not be the audition got it. Okay, so he's like the callback. And he's already sent in, yeah, she resigned. So they don't come after her, but he's just, acted as the call. That's what was like, what do they mean by acting here with this line, right? Yeah, the fact that you can fool your own twin sister shows you've got a real acting talent, which again ties into the story in a pretty cool way. I see. Yeah, I missed that. Also, does this guy have Discord open? He's a loser, what the hell? Look at this. Little Discord monitor. Yeah, so that's why you watch the episode multiple times, so you understand things like that and don't sound like a dumbass. So yeah, he's actively looking to crush his sister's dreams, to stop her from getting into the industry, to not follow the same footsteps as his mother. Yeah, I won't let her follow in Ai's footsteps, being somewhat protective of the sister and not wanting her to get obsessive fans that potentially kill her. Fair enough. Kind of paired with a really scary a sting in the instrumentation, which I like. Despite this, the very next scene, she just gets scattered by another guy anyway. Again, the general public was just turning their heads to look at her. She must be, attractive for this kind of proposition. Yeah, it's an underground idol recruitment, resulting in some skepticism from these two, probably warranted, right? You would think. Of course, Ruby thinks it's destiny, as her mother was scouted as well in a scene we saw in the first episode. So there's no contract here yet. They just wanted to come to the next concert and then see them. Yeah, again, skepticism. I was pretty skeptical in the moment too. That's not how good business is done. Again, thematically, whole episode, wide-eyed idealism versus cynicism versus dreams versus not having dreams versus not pursuing things, which may be themes in the entire show going forth. Miyako and Aqua get to talking, obviously caring a lot about Ruby and not wanting her to get into those situations, lamenting the stuff that happened to Ai if they could have changed a few things to change the outcome. So then Aqua gets the idea to check out this new underground agency by going out and recruiting one of the girls to Strawberry and seeing what she says about her old line of work. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it just caught my lip. Why is there like a giant cat in this building? I guess it's like a weird poster or something, or weird billboard, I guess I should say. Either way, yeah, he's doing the exact same process that the other guy just did to Ruby, to this girl, right? Recruiting her. So again, like Aqua's pretty switched on. Like he knows the places to go to get a member of this group, and You know, he acted very well as a scout as well, which may tie into the acting ability thing. So yeah, this underground group, like, she gets a little bit of a base salary, plus some stuff for performances, plus commission based on Polaroids they take with fans. But then the commission stuff is the main income she uses, but then there's expenses for clothes and other things. Like, it's not a good line of work. Most months I take home less than 100,000 yen. Let's get out the old currency calculator. Yeah, barely like 1,000 Australian dollars a month. And I think I'm hard done by. I get like way more than that. That's like hardly a living wage. Like, how? I guess she's like, how old are these idols? Is she still at school? Does she still have guardians? You would imagine so. So it's decent for pocket change, but like, no, not for the stress of it all. This character here also talks about points of contention in the group, potentially some favoritism, potentially some favors being done for the management that cause these favoritism stuff to happen. But maybe she's just lying, as we imply later, because jealousy is normally stoked in these kind of groups. Yeah, she's. It's making Miyako nervous. She's definitely bitter, let's say that. Yeah, the decision being not to let Ruby join any type of group where these kind of rumors are circulating, despite if they're based on nothing or not. So Miyako, last one in the office after everyone goes home, Aqua says no intention of letting her become an idol, especially with a shady company, maybe implying that with a less shady company, I would allow it. She gets to thinking, looking on Winbow's media playlist, sure. Have some old footage of the early days with B. Komachi. And then the implication here is that, yeah, obviously these two don't know that they're her kids. They think that they're her kids. Gotcha. So that, I guess that little look is enough to justify why Miyako does what she does. And there's some pretty slick animation here on Ruby that I'll bring up. Yeah, right here. Slick. Nice stuff. Even though it's on a bit of a quicker speed. Yeah, she's getting ready for her audition, or her going to that venue or whatever. But Miyako quickly puts a stop to that, starting with a whole bunch of warnings, like, this might not go the way you think. However, Ruby is steadfast. I'm gonna be like Mama, she says, which isn't great. Not the ending, anyway. Then we tell her, hey, you're not joining that group. You're joining our agency with our new group we're making. Very cool. We sign and seal a bunch of documents and make it all official. Aqua feels fine about it. He's not crazy about it. And straight to business. If you pull anything, we'll sue you. That's what, like, generally just like snappy in the dialogue, probably courtesy of Aka Akasaki, you would think. Very snappy and comedic. So it's also a necessary component of joining that performing arts program at that high school they want to attend. So, yeah. So then Aqua goes to see the director. It's revealed that he lives with his mother. I was wondering if this was a wife or mother, but it's definitely a mother. And he's just kind of sleeping on the job, doing his thing. So I don't know what's become of the director dude. Obviously, he was directing some amount of something at some point, but obviously he's fallen on harsh times. With Aqua doing a lot of the editing, no longer pursuing the acting, right? He doesn't think he's suited for it. Yeah, I guess the director still sees that talent in him. Both people in the family are going to be stars. No, I'm going to pursue this general education program and a career behind the scenes. To me, becoming an actor was a means to an end. This is where we link into trying to find the father or whoever planned this assassination, almost we're implying, of I. Yeah, we get that frame. The less I look at that frame, the better. It's quite scary. I don't like it. So yeah, needs to get into the industry, needs to get a DNA test or something. Yeah, despite being bit roles and that kind of thing, by appearing in your films, I realize something: I have no talent for acting. There's no use clinging to goals that are beyond your means. And then, yeah, we get into this conversation about dreams again. And yeah, this is where we get into a little bit jokey. Like, he tries to have this deep and meaningful conversation as somebody that's been pursuing their dreams for a very long time as a creative. But he keeps getting interrupted by the mother. Every single person has a right to dream. After all, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. And then, yeah, interrupted. Taishi. I don't know if we're going to call him Taishi. I prefer director dude, honestly. Yeah, continually interrupted as he tries to continue this speech. Yeah, aren't you in your mid-40s? Why are you preaching to me about, like, advice, life advice, when you're still living with your mother? It's a common thing for creators, okay? Yeah, it kind of is, huh? I fully believe in his philosophy, though. You can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. It's part of the reason why I even have this channel, right? You got to be in it to win it. So yeah, I agree with him and what he's trying to say. It's just a matter of if Aqua realizes that he actually wants this dream or not. Again, somewhat living in the shadow of his very famous and talented mother, just giving Aqua the advice that, hey, you're different people, you have different things that you're good at, different things that you're bad at. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't shy away just because you've had a setback or two. And the final part of the scene, Aqua admitting maybe that he finally does want to pursue acting and then getting interrupted, resulting in us going to Yoto High School and he applying for the general program where Ruby's applying for the performing arts program. So for some reason for the performing arts one, you need to have an agency, which is weird. Normally it's just like you enter an audition, but I digress. Either way, his name is Hoshino Aquamarine, which definitely is a name. He has a standard score of 70, where the average to apply is 40. He was just charmed by the spirit of the school, and also he's very smart on the basis that he actually is like a doctor. He passed the entrance exam for the Tokyo National Medical University, so he must be some kind of like, again, he's going to high school classes as like a man that had like a career. This should be pretty easy. Yeah, we get to the final scene here. Aqua pretty confident, Ruby pretty confident. The only thing that'll get me rejected is my name being too weird. And yeah, we mentioned that name out loud. Hoshino Aquamarine. Somebody just calls you Aqua. Who is walking past? There she is. That's Kana Aruma, I believe her name is. Look at those eyes. There's a galaxy in them. Very cool. A galaxy as opposed to the stars that are in their eyes. That's interesting. The genius child actor who can slurp baking soda just like that. Now, the genius child actor who can start crying in 10 seconds flat. Again, nice little rhyming bit, as I'm sure the Japanese is implying as well. Yeah, that joke was in the first episode too. Yeah, Aruma Kana, we're going to call her. And she mistakenly thinks that he's applying for the performing arts. He always thought that he gave it quits, but no, he's back pursuing acting. There's a mismatch in the understanding here. But yeah, obviously she's very excited. Nah, General, why? Straight into end of the episode. So that, for me, it's just like weird timing. I wouldn't end an episode there. I guess it's kind of like it's a flashpoint, I guess, ending. I don't know. I guess I could get used to it. I guess I would have ended it at another point. Maybe at the end of that scene. Then we get into this ED, which is buoyed by a pretty realistic art style. It's pretty banging. Yeah, this kind of stuff, right? Pretty cool. This kind of movement stuff reminds me of that special ending from Kaguya-sama Season 3, even though they're not the same production company, but it's still got that kind of vibe. It's very edgy. It's pretty cool. Hungry for one last chance, you cling to the tips of your toes. With your steps, you dash through the night sky. An ordinary stance won't be swaying anyone. You're a jewel who aspires to be among the stars. Again, general lyrics about aspiring to be greater than you are. The sweat and tears you well up are traces of your blood. You're only putting on a play for the eyes before you. Traces of your blood, implying like from my genetics, from mother. But don't expect the stage to miss a thing. Your aspirations will forever and ever burn you up. Almost some review Starlight stuff there with the stage. I've never seen such a liar. With how endless your lies are, surely you were born with them. Again, the whole lying part of the idol idea. Yeah, this part of the ED is interesting too. There's lots of flashes to like Ruby in that hospital room, which is intriguing. This lie is love, and this lie is a gift to the world. I'm impressed by how much these lyrics actually match up to the sentiment of the plot. So yeah, that's what the first episode was about. Remember who you've been spending your entire life with. I'll put my life on the line for you, or even give it to you. Kind of peaking with the chorus here. Definitely a strong vocal in the song too. You gave me time, didn't you? If all my wishes were to come true, if I were to realize them, with Ruby now on top of this hospital, looking out over the horizon. Also, yeah, just kind of Aqua's been kind of flung everywhere this ending, like just, you know, walking places, looking edgy with that hoodie on. I'd want to see you again as I give my prayers to the stars. Now, children of the stars, may you sleep well. Your radiance and yours alone will surely never wane. As we see Aqua sitting in front of a screen playing out the parts of the childhood where they were with I. Now, children of the stars, may you sleep well. Nice little sub there with stars and the star and the star. Yeah, that's our ending. Children of the Stars. I wonder who that's implied to be about. Pretty obviously the two main characters. So yeah, I mean, that was episode 2. And it was a pretty damn good one. I was pretty impressed with it. Flowed really well written. Just a general really good production. I'm keen to get into a few more of those pop-off moments a little bit later on. I'm guessing that Aqua's going to change his tune here at some point as well and join that performing arts program, and that's where we're going to jump into a few of these newer characters as well that feature in the opening. That would be my little prediction going forward. So yeah, I doubt we'll get much regarding the whole murder dad plot stuff yet. I think we're going to get a little bit more into the school stuff before that. So yeah, but yeah, mostly pretty impressed. I'm gonna aim for 2 episodes next week, but it'll depend on work. Yeah, just trying to catch up as soon as possible with the rest of the crowd that have now seen the show. Either way, show stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you've thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation, comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. And the Discord, join Discord, love Discord, Discord. And yeah, I'll catch you next week for more Oshi no Ko. So yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye for now.